Hello my beautiful blue hearts, I am back in the studio. I was just outside feeding my crow friends. I got a little rain on me. But I'm trying a different orientation. I have a microphone plugged in, so hopefully that'll help with the sound quality. So I'm kind of just testing that out right now. I usually do like the straight up and down, but figured I'd try this and just see how it goes. You might not be able to see exactly everything that I'm doing, but from time to time, I'll just do that and let y'all see. Alright, let's get going. Alright, so earlier I was painting these hearts, and I'm gonna just keep going. I had to go get my groceries and stop the live for that, so. Alright, so I've got this spray bottle here, I got my paints, I'm just gonna come over here and spray them down. Clean water over here, and I'm just gonna get to painting. Alright, last time I had music going, so I guess I'll get some music going this time and see how that goes. The sound kept cutting in and out, and I had seen that it could be like a phone type issue or even a YouTube issue, I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna try the microphone and see how this goes. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. I was using that brush earlier. I think I'll use a smaller brush now. Alright. So, as you can see, I've got several hearts already filled in on the page. So the plan is to come in with more hearts. So quick. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, so I've been trying to make friends with the neighborhood crows. And so it's funny because here lately I've been hearing them outside the front of my house around like 1 to 2 in the afternoon. And they're so loud I can hear them from in the house. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and make friends with these guys. And so I bought like these unsalted shelled peanuts because I'd read that that's what they like. And so I go out there around that time when I hear them, and I'm like, I whistle at them and I'm like, hey buddy. And I'll toss some out, and then I'll just go back in the house. And then that way they, they get used to me, and they know that I'm not threatening them or anything, and they can eat their peanuts in peace and all that. And the other day I actually found a penny near where I put the peanuts, so I guess they're starting to bring me stuff, I don't know. Which wasn't really the goal. I mean, it's kind of neat, but I just thought it'd be nice to be cool, like with crows. I just thought that'd be neat. Yeah, I'd actually painted some skateboard decks towards the end of last year, and one was a crow on one of the boards, and on the other board was a bear. And then the crows started showing up around my house, and I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. So I added this heart and that heart, and I don't want to tilt it too much because I don't want the paint to run. Yeah, and I usually do the lives vertical, but I have a microphone, like, what do they call those things? Adapters plugged in so the microphone can pick me up. I'm just testing it, seeing how it goes, see if it helps sound quality any. I guess YouTube's been doing something with their sound, and then just this particular he does it too. I don't know. And so, maybe the way around that is a microphone. So we'll see. Yeah, I'd watched part of my last live that I did this morning, and I'd noticed, when I'm talking, some of the words just cut out, and it was like, what? I've never had that problem before. So, yeah, looking into it, it could be a YouTube issue, it could be, it could be a phone thing, could be a little bit of both. Yeah, we're in for some bad weather later today into the weekend, and so I was like, I better go pick up a little bit of groceries and all that. So that's what I had to do earlier, and that's why I left my live. But I'm also trying to cut my live shorter because I've been doing them for like an hour and a half to like 2 hours, which is a really long time. And then nobody like watches them, and it's like kind of frustrating. So it's like I want them to be here for people to find and help them, and if they're not watching them for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, then that's no bueno. I remember growing up how much I loved Valentines and getting Valentines and handing them out in class and stuff like that. I just loved that. When I was in middle school, I was in choir, and a really fun thing that they would do is valograms. So somebody would order like a song, and you could go in and to the class at a designated time of the day and sing these songs that someone paid for to like someone that they sent it to, and that was so cool. And there was so it was Bon Jovi. I think it was Always, and we came in and we sang it. And I didn't like that this song in particular because I thought Bon Jovi was cool. Um, this song in particular, they only sang for like what felt like a millisecond, and I'm like, well, that's not nothing. That's not giving the customers what they paid for, and so and so everyone stopped singing it to a point where you're supposed to stop, and I just kept going, and finally the teacher's like, all right, all right, all right. But everybody was like, oh, and it was like really cool, and it was fun. And the guy that I had to sing it to, his name was Tori. He later and he's like, did you buy me the Valigram? And I'm like, nope, sorry, just sang it. And I'm like, it was anonymous, so like I have no idea who sent it. But yeah, he was like so touched. So I guess I did a good job. And it was fun. It's one of my favorite memories. But yeah, I love Valentine's. I think it's cool. Love is great. One thing I really liked about um, the school I went to when I was in elementary was how they would decorate for the holidays, and how in class, sometimes we'd get to do like crossword puzzles for the holiday, or like draw stuff, and I loved that. And it made me sad because when my son went to school, didn't really do stuff like that anymore. And we would do plays and things like that, and they just they didn't do that with my son. And I was like, that's so sad. And like the main focus in school at that point for him, I noticed, was just for the standardized testing was their main focus, and getting everyone in line, and you had to be this perfect little person, which was ridiculous. So there was like no creativity, no, individuality, and no fun really, which was really sad. I was really sad about that. But yeah, y'all probably like, wasn't she just live earlier? Yes, yes. But I wanted to get this piece done. I was like, it's really cool. Go Valentine's. A little sniffly, so I apologize for that. But it is what it is. I hadn't felt like I'm sick or anything. I really think it's just allergies. We've been having, not good air quality lately. And, they're talking about cedar fever. So, like, I guess the trees and stuff are doing their thing. And so it's been affecting a lot of people, not just me. That hasn't been fun. But I feel mostly okay, Nothing outside of the norm. I have chronic illnesses, so, it's usually a baseline of general not feeling good, but yeah, so nothing too much out of the norm there. Some more hearts in there. And I'll tilt it. I'll tilt it up more later, but right now I just don't want any of that paint to run. Yeah, one year we did a play about Christopher Columbus and Sacagawea and other, like figures like that. And I actually wanted to be Christopher Columbus, and, because they made him out to be this great, amazing, wonderful guy. And as a kid, that sticks with you. It makes an impression. I didn't know any better. I know better now. But they were like, no, you can be Sacagawea. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I played Sacagawea in that play. And I'm actually glad that it turned out that way. But how, back in the day that they like glorified him and made him to be like this national hero and stuff, and later you find out that he's not a good dude. Didn't do good things. So and we play where we were singing, I guess about friendship and community kind of stuff, and that was cool. But I probably would have been a theater kid if it wasn't for choir. Like, I really just wanted to be, uh, you know, involved with music. I wanted to be in band, but my parents wouldn't pay for an instrument for me. So, I had to find something on my own, a way to figure out how to be close to music. And that was my way, was to join choir, which was, didn't require a monthly fee for instrument rental or anything. So, that is how that turned out. The whole reason I did that was because of that. Yeah, it broke my heart not being able to be in band, because that's what I really wanted. Yeah, the teacher was like, saxophone's the hardest to learn, is what she said back then. And she's like, so I don't, just wanted to put that out there, let y'all know that saxophone's the hardest instrument. And I was like, well, then that's the instrument I want to do. So that would have been the instrument of my choice back then, the saxophone. What would it have been if I, played saxophone now? It'd be so cool. Yeah, so like in, oh man, what year was it? Shoot, trying to remember. I want to say it was like 6th grade, something like that. I found out that the school that I was in had a choir, and so went and was like, hey, I want to join the choir. And they're like, what do you, what do you sing? What position do you sing? And I was like, alto. I didn't know. And they were like, okay, you're in alto. And thank goodness I chose right, because there's no way in heck I could have sang soprano. Not easily, not without like straining my voice. So it worked out. From then on out, I was an alto. Yep, so I sang from middle school, so basically, so from 6th grade all the way up until my, like, junior year, I sang choir. And then the teacher decided to separate the kids up into different choirs. And so she put basically the popular kids, the rich kids in one class, and then everybody else in another class. And it was not cool, because the rich kids, the popular kids, got to do cooler things, than everyone else, and that really sucked. So I left because I was like, I'm not standing for this garbage. It wasn't right. It wasn't fair. Everyone in the class knew it. At least, the ones who weren't the popular or rich kids knew it. And I was just like, this goes against what I stand for and what I think, and it's not okay. And so I left. And didn't look back. And it sucked. I didn't want to leave choir. It meant a lot to me. But I just had to stand, up for myself and what I believed in. And so, yeah. But I missed it. I missed it. Yeah, I don't think anybody else left. I think everybody just went with it. But I'm like, I don't care. I can't do this. One cool thing that I had happen to me though when I was in choir is they had a choir sweetheart, and then everybody would vote on who the choir sweetheart would be. And so I was like asking my friends, would you please vote for me and I'll vote for you. And so I strategically like picked who I should vote for, and they voted for me. And I wound up getting like tied with another girl in the class who was really popular. And I was just like, what? So that was really cool. And then she goes and does like a pool party and invites everyone, like absolutely everyone. And of course, then she wins. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I didn't go to her party. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do that. So I didn't do that. But I was nominated, and that was nice. And that was enough for me to just be nominated. Yeah, because you could vote for, I think it was like 3 to 5 people. So you could pick like 3 to 5 boys, 3 to 5 girls, something like that. And so I was like, asking my friends if they'd vote for me, and I'd vote for them. And it wound up working out for me. It was really cool. Like, I didn't expect it, that I would actually make it. And so when I was nominated, I was like, what? That was pretty cool. And I really appreciated those friends for voting for me and all that. And that was really nice. I like being in the studio on rainy days. I don't know, there's just something nice about it. Nice and warm and comforting. like it'll be icy and snowy and not good visibility, and just because of wind, it's gonna be really windy. So it's gonna be pretty wild. So a lot more hearts in there, as you can see. Just gonna keep going. Yeah, I remember listening to the oldies station when I was a kid, and especially like in the spring and around Valentine's and all that, and they'd be playing "Going to the Chapel," and so I remember that, and just all those cutesy like "I Just Called to Say I Love You" by Stevie Wonder and things like that. You know, those just always stuck with me. Yeah, spring, Valentine's, Easter, all that is like a magical time for me when I was a kid. The hearts don't have to be perfect. We're just aiming for something cute and fun. No pressure. Starting to fill in pretty good. I'm just painting upside down because I don't want to like set my hand in any paint. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope y'all are keeping cozy. Hope y'all are safe and feeling good and everything. Hope y'all have a good weekend. when it's cold outside, what's your favorite thing to do? Like, do you read books? Do you watch movies? Play video games? What do you do? I know when it's cold out, I like spending time with family, so like watching movies and eating snacks and stuff like that. I made sure to get chocolate chip cookie dough so I can make us some chocolate chip cookies. I thought that'd be nice. And I got stuff to make a stew. Should be good. Yeah, as long as power stays on. Which I'm really hoping will be the case. We'll just have to see. So I'm thinking what I'll do once this all dries is come in with a black pen, like a fine liner, and, you know, do like little scribbles around the hearts, I think. It's not too bad. Pretty good. Alright. Just trying to think where else can I put the hearts. I want them everywhere. Comments on it? Alright. Okay, so this is where we're at. Can't tilt too much. There's a lot of hearts in there. And I ordered a desk protector. I just got this desk and I refinished it, resurfaced it and everything. So this was like a light gray and now it's a white, and I really don't want to damage the top with the paint or anything like that. So I ordered a protector. I'm just waiting for that to come in. And I'm just trying to be really gentle and careful with it right now and not do, anything too wild. You know, one of my main painting styles, and I know you probably can't see it, but right here is like a paint splatter. It's a llama with paint splatters, and so it gets messy really quick. And I was like, I'm definitely gonna have to protect this. So I'm just waiting on that before I can do any paint splatter stuff. I'm just gonna tear off some paper towel here. And I had mixed a little bit of paint here. So I'm just going to clean that out. And if you do get one of these paint palettes, remember to let it stay open for a few days. Let it dry completely before closing the lid. I usually am pretty good about that. My last paint set, I didn't do that, and it got mold all in it, and it was terrible. And I probably could have saved it, but I was like, I don't want to risk, breathing that in or anything. So I just threw it away and started fresh. And I had that paint palette since around the time my mom passed away, so back in 2022. It was a long time I've had that paint. So it was a little sad to see it go. Yeah, because when I went to go look for a new paint palette, I couldn't find that one anymore. Like, they didn't make it anymore. It was like, oh no, because I loved the colors that it came with. So, yeah, not cool. Alright, let's see what pins I got here. Ah. Okay, well. Let's see, is that the pen? No, I don't think that's the pen. Is it? No, it's not the pen one. I think it's the 1.5 is the one I'm gonna be using. I'm using this to prop up my camera, so my phone. Not the best phone prop. What the heck? Now y'all can't see my stuff. Alright, hang on. We'll get this. There, that's a little bit better. Alright, so on the dry ones, I'll have to go through and see what's dry and what isn't. So on the more like dry stuff, I can come in and go ahead and doodle in. Is this even the one I want to use? Oh, this isn't. Is it? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that'll work. Alright. So just gonna do little outlines like that all over. Once it's all completely dry, we'll do that. In the meantime, we'll just do some of them. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just having fun. It's a little wet, so we won't do that one. I'll do this one here. I hope my sound's coming through okay. It's just kind of like a test live. See how that goes. Because whatever's going on, when they change the settings, or maybe it's my new phone, I don't know. It just wasn't sounding right on my last live, so not fun. And I'm trying to figure out where, I'm used to like looking up here, because it's usually vertical, so I'm like looking right in this, and I keep looking over there. I don't know, I probably look crazy, but the camera's right there. And so that's where I gotta look now. And I'm just trying to get used to that. I'm just trying to decide where I'm gonna put these. Let's see if that's all where I want to put. What do I want to do? What's it doing here? Hello, welcome. So I just got done painting watercolor hearts. So I had done like one layer of hearts and let it dry. And then I went over the top of those and painted more. And then I'm letting them dry. And then I'm coming in and doing some ink over some of them. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for checking out the video, and hopefully you'll subscribe, and if not, that's okay. Welcome anyways. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope you have a good weekend. If you get a chance, please check out my Substack. I'm over there. I do lives there now, and what's cool about that is they'll post them over here too on YouTube, and even make shorts for me, which is really nice. And so I do that sometimes, and I have a Ko-fi that I update, about what I'm up to, things like that. And then I have a Threadless shop where you can get sweatshirts, shirts, tote bags with things like this. So this is, I know it's backwards, but it says Misty Blue Art, and that's my logo. So I've got stuff like this and other things that I created over there. If y'all want to check that out, no pressure, just if that's something y'all want to do, it's definitely appreciated, and it helps me keep doing this. Yeah, and I want to keep doing this. So. Thank y'all so much for the support. It really means a lot, and it really does help a lot. Yeah, maybe I'll put some where there's not any hearts, too. Just for funsies, why not? See if I was gonna put some. I'm just trying to be careful where I set my hand to. Some of these are still wet. I think that's pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Alright. So here we go. We got purples and pinks all in there. Just gonna let that dry some more. But thank y'all so much for hanging out today. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm trying out a new mic situation, seeing how that works. But yeah, thank y'all so much again for hanging out, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye everyone. Thank you.